I couldn't stand Trump from the moment he first ran for president. His whole campaign vibe, plus all the crazy rumors flooding social media, gave me some serious authoritarian whiffs. Now, during his first term, he wasn't totally out of control. He played nice enough with the Republican bigwigs and real conservatives, even took some of their advice. But me? I kept calling him out. Yep, just criticism, nothing more. And then when he lost the election and egged on that mob to storm the Capitol, I was straight up pissed. Then there's this other thing. Maybe the left in America and Europe has gone overboard with all this progressive stuff, moving too fast and too wild. Or maybe it's just this smartphone social media age we're in. I don't think traditional media has screwed up as bad as people say, but it's gotten a rotten representative anyway. And then you've got Elon Musk, this tech nut, buying Twitter and turning it into Trump's personal hype machine. Rumors were everywhere online, and nobody trusted any fact-checking anymore. It's a weird new world, and people aren't handling it well. So boom, out of nowhere, Trump lands a second term. This time, though, he kicked out any Republican who didn't kiss the ring. He surrounded himself with a bunch of suck-ups. Loyalty to him is the only thing that matters in Trump land now. No breaks, no sensible advice, nada. I'm a history nerd, and let me tell you, Americans screwing up isn't new. World War I and II? They were stuck in this isolationist swamp forever. The worst was after France fell in World War II. Britain was on its own, fighting like hell, about to get choked out by German subs. They begged the US for 50 old destroyers, but Congress said nope, and most Americans didn't want to help either. Roosevelt had to pull every trick in the book to make the Brits pay through the nose just to get those ships. Look, it was obvious. If Britain went down, America was next. If Japan hadn't bombed Pearl Harbor and forced their hand, who knows what they'd have done. Here's the kicker, though. Back then, even when Americans were being idiots, they had a smart president. This time, they picked a guy hyped up by social media as some all-powerful savior. But the real Trump? Forget whether he's a crook or not. He's hands down one of the most clueless, pig-headed, and cocky dudes ever. And that's saying something for history. Worse, he's got no morals, no limits, and laughs at the law like it's a joke. His whole business career? Just finding ways to cheat the system. Some folks say, hey, he doesn't care about human rights or decency, but he's all about America's interests. So what's wrong with that? A president looking out for his people isn't awful, sure. But make America great again? That's a line ripped straight from fascist playbooks. Even if you ignore that, has Trump's first month in office this time around made America greater or richer? Really? His big moves are tariffs and tax cuts. He thinks slapping tariffs on everybody and starting trade wars is some genius win for America. History says, nah, no country's ever gotten strong that way. Econ 101. Free markets and trade are what make you rich. That's how America got started. While other powers were busy looting colonies, the US was pushing open trade. Post-World War II, they built this whole world order, playing global cop and keeping things humming. That's how the dollar became king, letting them print cash like it's nothing, building the baddest military, and sucking in tech talent worldwide to stay ahead for decades. Sure, manufacturing went to cheaper countries, and they babysat Europe, Japan, and South Korea with defense. But that's the deal. It's the price of being top dog. If Trump ditches that, stops footing the bill, the whole thing collapses. Nobody needs you, and all that talent, tech, and money flows somewhere else. Even a little cash coming back home would spark insane inflation. Tax cuts? Cool idea, but if you rip up deals, flip-flop daily, and freak out investors, what's the point? Oh, and get this. He's talking trade wars to swallow Canada, muscle into the Panama Canal, grab Greenland, and he's been bullying old European buddies so bad they're about to cry. In a month, America went from world stabilizer to world wrecker, smashing up the very system it built. People call him a businessman, but real businessmen at least make sense economically. Trump? He's ditching Europe and Ukraine to cozy up to Russia and Putin. An ex-Aussie prime minister said Trump looks at Putin like a starry-eyed kid meeting his hero. Fine, admire the guy. But as a businessman, shouldn't you care about profit? Squeezing Ukraine for minerals is shady but logical. But sucking up to Putin? What's the payoff? Ukraine's got rare earths you want. Russia's got oil, gas, weapons, stuff you don't need. Trade with Russia's basically zero, and even buddying up won't change that much. You can overlook Putin's dictator vibes and the bloodbaths he's caused without saying a peep against him. But why grovel like this? What's he after? Just an autograph like some high school fanboy? Even now, tons of people defend Trump, totally blanking on how they used to cheer for Ukraine and Zelensky against Russia's invasion.